What's up? It's TND and welcome to another episode of TND Won't Shut Up,
where we discuss and debate relationship topics from a healthy couple's perspective.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly discussions and share with a friend or two.
Or three.
Or four.
Or five.
Or six or seven or eight.
So how you doing, baby?
I am doing amazing. Y'all, my voice is shot. We had an absolute blast. We were on a 6-day cruise. And it was my birthday, by the way. Today's the day after my birthday. We went on a cruise, and then after that, we came home. I had family in town, and then we had a birthday party on Sunday, and then my actual birthday was on Monday. And it was a low-key birthday. We just went out to eat and did a little karaoke together, and yeah, that was fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Non-stop action.
Non-stop
I think
action.
we had 9 straight days of activity and partying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you know what? It was a great celebration of your birthday.
It was a really good time, and I'm so glad that I decided to take 3 days off after all this partying. So I've just been chilling these days. These last few days has been really chilling, and I'm actually feel good about that.
That's good. And here we are, back to it.
Yep, so we're finally recording season 9, episode 7, Meet the Friends. It is a Tuesday, so clearly we're very late to the party. It was kind of hard for us to stay away from the commentary, but I think we did a pretty good job, right, Billy?
Yeah, we did the best we could do.
And we don't know who went home. We don't know what happened. I have an idea who went home, but I don't know what happened. So we are watching it right now as we record. Anything you want to add, babe, before we get this party started?
Nothing at all. Let's jump right in.
All right. So the episode starts as usual in the men's lounge. The men walk in, and Tommy's like, when the first thing he says is, 2 men had to go. And some of the guys shared their sentiments, what they thought about them, and basically said, Chaz says, we are weeding out the troublemakers. I was wondering what he meant by that, but LaRon quickly let us know that he felt bad about Jonathan leaving, and he was happy that Will is gone. He called Will a snake. And he basically shared that there was, he
became aware of the way that Alexis ended up sending information to Will. I guess there was some group chat between the women, and he screenshotted it, and yeah, real messy.
Right, and he basically wanted Koshia to leave, so that's the reason why Koshia left. Yeah. So it seemed like there was some kind of drama, and there was kind of plotting against Koshia to leave. So. And
of course, LaRon's in his feelings about it. But to me, that's surprising because look at how he treated Koshia towards that, So, but anyway, so now the men were asked to introduce their women, or at least the women that are front runners, their top connections to their family.
Yes.
So we'll see.
No, not family, friends. They're homies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna see how this go, y'all.
We're gonna see.
We always see the true colors when the friends come out.
Yes. All right, so in the next scene, we have 2 dates. The first is between William, 2 of his friends, a male and a female, and his top choice right now, Maya. And then in the second date, we have Justin, Mika, Rashina, and Justin's friend, right? All right, so with William and his date and Maya's date, as we already knew coming into this date, there's definitely a connection there. They're definitely vibing. William's friends pointed out, though, that his picker is off prior to even meeting Maya. So, that tells me that they've obviously been introduced to some of his other women, and there must have been some shortcomings. So Maya walks in. She's looking really good. Beautiful. I mean, right now, I think she's at the top of the pack right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, a couple things came up. I think one of the first questions that was asked by William's friends was, with him being a comedian, can Maya support that kind of lifestyle? I guess maybe that being a comedian, I got to assume you travel a lot. Also, he's in the reserves, some type of military reserves, and I guess there's some demands that come from that. And for the most part, Maya seemed to be very supportive of it. Maybe I think she pointed out that, the comedian part she was aware of, and she knows that there's some demands. Comedy. Yeah, but as far as the reserve commitments, the military thing, I don't think she was really aware of what that might entail.
Right.
But I don't think that dissuade her from, at least moving forward or continuing to see what this would be. And the last thing I think they talked about was children.
Yes.
Of course, William already has 3. Maya doesn't have any. I believe Maya wants 2. Mm-hmm. So, 3 children and 5 children. I mean, that's a lot of things change. Okay, vehicles change. You walking into a restaurant with a herd of people. Okay?
You're gonna be walking. You're gonna have to be driving a minivan.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot, but that's what happens when you date a younger woman. She's 30 years old, and don't have any children. Of course, she wants children of her own. So if you choose to be with her, I hope that you're willing to provide that.
Right.
Yeah, but nonetheless, great date overall.
All right, if you're still listening at this point, please take a second to like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow our channel. We got great content that's going to be coming out in the future, in addition to our Ready to Love commentary.
Yes.
All right. So in that next date, we had Justin, Mika, Rashina, and Justin's friend. Mm-hmm. So first thing that just threw me off a little bit is the fact that Justin has Rashina and Mika meeting him at his boy's crib.
Red flag.
I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, I understand he's a PE teacher. May or may not be living in a, mansion. It doesn't matter. You own what you live in.
Exactly.
Have everybody come to your place, not your boy with the big crib, right?
Yes.
So the reason that stood out is because that shows a little bit of insecurity if you're not comfortable having these women come to your place. So Justin's friend asked the ladies, what I think Mika specifically, what was it that she liked about Justin? And Mika says she loves the conversation, feels like Justin shows vulnerability, doesn't come off as a thirsty dude.
Yeah, like with the rest of them. She said like the rest of them.
Yes, and Rashina was kind of asked the same thing, and she pretty much co-signed on the exact same thing. Yeah. And then the question came up about what if Justin needed space or something like that. Right. I think the answer was, well, I'll just be on Do Not Disturb. But then Mika kind of jumped in and said, whoa. If you're my dude, then I'm getting past the Do Not Disturb. I forgot what she said specifically. Like, you still get
notified anyway.
It's
the button that you hit.
And here's my thing. I understand that. If that's your guy or your woman, you feel like you should kind of have a way to always communicate with them, regardless of it. But you know what? I always say, and I've learned this through my life experiences, that, that's not something to just be glanced at, right? A person could be overly dependent on being connected to a person, and when that person needs a little bit of room, needs a little bit of space, they can't get it because you're still there. And then if they want it, then you start to feel some insecurity.
Right.
Because that person doesn't want to communicate with you for even just a couple hours, So I don't know. That just kind of, as a man, I, hear that kind of thing, and I, my radar comes up a little bit. Like, I need to proceed with caution a little bit, just to make sure this woman is okay with space in a relationship.
Yes, and I think that's very important. That should send not a flag, but just a little yellow warning light, a ding in his head that's saying, let me talk about that later, because I do feel that, it's important for you to allow your spouse or your partner to have their space when they need it. Not excessive, where you feel like you're single, but some space when they just need to chill and have their phone on Do Not Disturb. So I don't know. I kind of felt like, hopefully she was joking around, but Mika, to me, I don't know too much about her, but for some reason, just little things that she says made me feel like she had very toxic relationships in the past. And one of the things she said during this conversation was, it's been a while, she said in confessionals, that it's been a while since she's been in anything serious. So, I don't know. And Mika's 34?
I think so.
Yeah, 34 or something, or 38. I don't know. She already has 2 kids. She says she hasn't been in a relationship for a while. She has a huge age gap. I just feel like for some reason, I'm getting something in my sizzle in my spirit is saying that Mika has been in very toxic relationships in the past.
So, in my opinion, both Rashina and Mika are running neck and neck. I don't see any of them really standing out per se as far as Justin is concerned. But I think, by the end of this date, I think they're both still, going to pursue this connection with Justin to see where it goes.
Yeah, so the friend also asked, he also asked the friend, which one did you like the best? He said that Mika appears to be a bit guarded. In my opinion, looking at the date, I didn't see any guardedness in Mika. If anything, I see more guardedness in Rashina, because she was kind of just sitting there. She was very serious. There was no variation in her tone or anything like that.
All right, moving on. So in the next scene, we have 2 dates again. The first is with Chaz, Alexis, Vanessa, and 2 of Chaz's friends. The second date is Alonzo, his female friend, Patrice, and Rashina. So in the date with Chaz, so the date takes place at Chaz's place. The first person to arrive was Alexis. The friends had asked Alexis, if there was any, issues that she's kind of seen
Any red flags.
in Chaz, any red flags. And she pointed out that it was actually all green flags. But the one thing that, kind of stood out was the 15-year age gap between the 2 of them. It seemed to imply that she never had an experience like that.
Right.
But I don't think it made her shy away from it. Chaz, I think he does look his age. I'm not saying that he's Asian.
Yeah.
But I don't. But I don't think she's really caring for that, right? As long as other things are in place in their lives.
How old is Chaz? 47, I think?
I think so.
Yeah, and he said he looks younger than his age, and I think he's in shape. I think he looks great for his age, but I definitely think he looks 47.
Yeah.
No shade, Chaz.
No shade, no shade.
But you look good, though. Nice body, like you take good care of yourself, clean face.
Right. So then Vanessa comes in. And, we already know that there's a connection there between the 2 of them. The ladies were asked, kind of where they're at, what they're looking for, like what's their demeanor, what's their being. And Vanessa said she's more of a peaceful person. And that does come across, without a doubt. Alexis, she, said, that she's basically a person that she stands her ground. Like, she's not going to be a doormat. If someone wants to smoke, she's ready for it. And we know this already.
But she also says she has a loud personality.
And I'm all for the outgoing personality, but to me, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a dramatic person. I think that's just a whole different issue that she has, And when she was saying it, I don't know if you observed the facial gestures on his friends. I think they was like, okay. Because, that's always kind of a caution when you hear a woman even talk about, being comfortable in the drama.
Right, I agree.
So that's one thing that stood out. Also, what I saw in that interaction is that the connection between Vanessa and Chaz, it just seems to stand out more than what he has with Alexis. I think he might be flattered and everything that he has Alexis and Vanessa checking for them, but I look back to that scene where Chaz was in the room with Vanessa and they was really getting deep and they couldn't stop smiling at each other and they both professing their feelings towards one another. I didn't see that type of connection with Alexis.
I will say this. Vanessa and Chaz have a very great physical connection. They look good together. And overall, she comes off very feminine, pretty soft. She describes herself as peaceful, and she comes off peaceful. I agree with that. Now, I also feel like Chaz needs somebody a little with some energy, some spunk, some attitude, some excitement. I don't know if Vanessa can bring that. And I think at first sight, I think Vanessa is beautiful. And I feel like he might be attracted to her and he might be attracted to that personality, but as the relationship start getting stale, he might want a little bit more, and I don't know if Vanessa have that more to give him, right? So I think they'll be good at the beginning, but I don't know that this will create a lasting relationship.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I do want to bring up something that stood out to me that I was unaware of, and that's how pressed Chaz is for marriage. I mean, I was actually surprised, right? Because, with his age and the way he's been sounding, led me to believe that he would be more of a, patient, kind of methodical person when it comes to the progression that's required to even get to a place of marriage. But when I heard, oh no, I ain't even trying to wait a year. I don't want to be out here single. It's like, whoa, a year? Like, don't set the timelines. How about you meet the person and let it progress and see if this is even someone worth being with.
Exactly.
So that really threw me off. And truth be told, my respect for Vanessa went up because clearly, through her previous marriage and divorce, she's learned some things. And she's probably figured out that, look, I am not pressed to run to that altar with somebody.
And it's a very serious transaction to get married. Like, this is not something that you want to take lightly. You can lose money off this. You can lose your livelihood off this. You can lose your comfortability off this.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, so it's something that, especially at that big age, and Chaz seems like somebody who's well off, might have some money. You want to be very mindful who you marry, because if you decide to go down that divorce, if you decide to get divorced, then he might lose half of his house. He might lose half of his, his money, his retirement, So I just think that that's something that you shouldn't rush into. A year to me, and that's just my opinion, is not enough time to get to know someone and to say that you want to be married to that person for the rest of your life. I don't know. That's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
1 year is not it. It's just, no.
Yeah, so that stood out to me, and this is probably the first time that I saw what could be a big disconnect between Vanessa's longer term goals and Chaz's shorter term goals.
But the thing about it is, I noticed that people who has been married and who has not been married have a different view on marriage.
Yes, absolutely.
Because Vanessa's been married and the other two has not been married, and they're both like, oh, I have to get married. So. And there's nothing wrong with being married. I just think that you need to be methodical, and this needs to be a well thought out process, not no timeline. Oh, I need to get married in a year. Right. Then you're going to find somebody and marry the wrong person because you're so stuck on that timeline. It's a year approaching. Now it's time for me to put the ring on her finger, rather than focus on building a happy, healthy relationship and then considering the marriage route. The other thing is that this is a lot. But we're gonna go. Chaz is 47 years old. He still want kids, apparently, right?
Yes.
All right, I don't.
There's a lot there. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're done. Let's stop.
We're done. We're moving on. Next date was.
Wait, we didn't talk about what the friends felt about them.
Yeah, so the friends felt what we felt, which is clearly, if you had to pick one, Vanessa's more aligned with him.
Yes.
They've showed a stronger connection. Alexis, 15-year age gap. Still a live wire, still figuring some things out. Might have to go through a couple more relationships to realize that this approach and the way that she does things is not conducive to a healthy relationship.
Right.
And, if you got to pick between the two on the surface from what we see, I think, 9 out of 10 people are going to pick Vanessa for him. And that's what his friends end up saying.
And Vanessa's, she's a bit more mature.
So. Yes. All right. So in the next date, we had Alonzo, his female friend, Patrice, and Rashina. So I think coming into this, Patrice and Alonzo seem to have a connection.
Right.
Their personalities, a little more eclectic. You could tell by their style, by their demeanor. But let's not ignore the fact that Patrice is in a totally different place than Alonzo.
Yeah,
she has 3 children. She is older than Alonzo, way older than Alonzo.
She's like 7 years older than Alonzo, which is the maturity level for men and women at that age, with that age gap. He's 35, she's 42 or 43.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And we already know women, they're just generally more mature. Even if the ages were equal. So. I just think that they might be feeling something, and there could be. This is a classic situation where maybe it should be meant only for a season of fun
time,
and a little connection, sexual, whatever they choose to do. But when you're talking about long term, they're in such different places.
Right, and she's saying that she would want to give him another kid, and I'm just like, lady, you're 42 years old. Like, y'all need to stop living in La La Land. I'm not saying it can't happen, but. Like, seriously, if you even wanted to have a kid, it needs to be now. And so it just don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So just be honest. And I think Rashina did a good job at being very honest.
I agree.
I agree. But anyways, I'm sorry, baby.
No, that's fine. So Rashina, on the other hand, one positive is that, she basically said she doesn't want any more kids. So, that puts Alonzo in a position where, he doesn't have to have kids, but he probably does want to have kids
And he's
still young. So that's something right there that's somewhat of a potential disconnect between the two. Also, Rashina just doesn't really, and as she pointed out, that she just doesn't have any romantic chemistry with him.
Yeah.
And I just don't see that growing in any way.
At all.
It's just not there.
At all.
Yeah, so, and then of course Patrice, she had that little note that I guess Alonzo wrote for her in the hip, ready to go. Not in the hip literally, but in the, breast area. So obviously she's checking for him. She wanted to get the upper hand just in case she was going head to head with whoever was going to be on the date. And she did that because clearly Alonzo, he couldn't stop. He was just laughing, smiling. He was smitten over the whole situation. Yeah, so by the end of that, in my opinion, Rashina ain't really checking for him like that. Patrice is checking for him, but I don't think that is well founded.
I think it's going to be very short-lived, and she might get annoyed with him after a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he comes off a little bit immature, right? Playful, but I'm sure he has a serious side to him. I think a lot of people who's like funny and comedic and playful, a lot of them just have a hard time being serious and being vulnerable. But eventually, when they find that right person, it happens.
Yes.
So that's all I gotta say.
All right. So next up, we have 2 dates again. The first was William's friends, the same friends that were in the previous date, Alexis and Patrice. And then in the second date, we had Dominique, his friend, and Vanessa. Right. Mm-hmm. So in the first date, I think Alexis was the first to show up. Then Patrice, and here comes Patrice with this, bouquet of flowers.
Why was William, again, another person that's not at their own place and they're at their friend's house? Something's wrong with these Fort Worth men. Like,
something ain't right.
Something ain't right about that. I don't know, but
just like with Justin, William is a comedian.
Right.
This is a job that, things could be great or things could be not so great.
Right.
So we really don't know where he stands, and maybe he doesn't have a place that he wants to show or, whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, something that I think the women should take into account and hopefully get some confirmation about before making any decisions. Right.
But he might really not have any money, y'all. Think about it. He's an inspiring comedian. I'm still getting up and coming vibes, right, baby?
That's what I'm getting.
And then he also has 3 kids. So I don't know how his finances are. But he also does some military stuff. And it's something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, so.
You don't know what you don't know. But I will say what helps ease that is seeing certain things.
Yes.
And when you don't see a house or an apartment or something.
Right.
That could kind of keep you, questioning.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So, all right. So Patrice walks in. She's got this bouquet of flowers ready to go to give to the lady of the house.
Baby, come on. Let's clap
it
up.
Come on. Clap it up.
Yeah, she killed that.
She had a little note in the previous day ready to go for Alonzo, and now she got the bouquet of flowers. So props to her.
Lady of the house. That was beautiful.
She did that. So, one of the first questions that came up was, how do the ladies feel about drama? Oh, and let's not ignore the fact that Alexis ended up sitting initially. I guess she was sitting on the couch, and then Patrice sat next to her. And then she slid across that couch. Okay, she ain't want no part of being close to Patrice.
Right.
But of course, the first question was, how do the ladies feel about drama? Which was an appropriate question considering what they went through.
And then production told them that.
Of course. And Patrice, basically said that she's not about the drama,
right.
and Alexis still kind of stood her ground about, look, I'm not about the drama, but if you want the smoke, I'll bring the smoke.
I don't shy away from it.
She don't shy away from it, but for the most part, they didn't really feed into the question, and they kept things kind of cordial, which I thought was good. So I guess in the end, they had asked the friends, who they thought was the best connection for William.
Wait, baby, they don't forget they asked about the how do you feel about William being a comedian? And Alexis said she has no problem with it, but then what's her name? Patrice, you know, of course, she talked about having her own. She has a limo business or something like that, where she drives around celebrities, and she basically said we could work on this together. Like when they hire you, I can be your driver, and we keep the money in the house. You know. Yeah. So I thought that was a cute answer. I mean, supportive answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, truth be told, it makes sense.
Yes.
You know, those type of lifestyles could mesh, and it sounds to me like just Patrice's job would lend to kind of the hustle game, right?
Yes.
If you're dealing with celebrities, you know, you can find other opportunities.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was good, but nonetheless, the friends liked Patrice better.
I think for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For plenty of reasons, they love her personality. But one thing they did say is that, you know, she got the hustle mentality that he has as well. So
yeah. Now, what I think, and we'll see, is that I'm sure he appreciates Patrice and, you know, thinks she might be, you know, fine and all that, but I think he's really checking for Maya. Period.
I agree.
All right. So in that next date was Dominique, his friend, and Vanessa. So, you know, Vanessa walks in looking good. You know,
Vanessa
I'm not gonna lie.
is beautiful.
Vanessa's
she really
beautiful.
is.
And she dresses well,
Yeah.
and, you know, beautiful smile, all that. So the question was asked if she was open to kids. Now, remember, she already has 2. She did say that with the right person, she'd consider having another child.
Right.
But then here we go again with Dom.
2 to
talking
10.
this 2 to 10, not... I don't, you know, I was about to say nonsense. Let me not go there, because maybe he passionately feels that he needs to have a 12-person family, 10 kids
I don't
plus
get
2.
that from him. I feel like he's a jokester all the way. He beats around the bush. He's not clear and concise. He's not coming for anybody.
He definitely isn't. I mean, look, if a woman's got to tell you, hey, step it up, you know, show me that you want me, then already you're starting from the wrong place, in my opinion.
I
as
agree.
A man, if you're interested in that woman, you need to come for that woman, and she actually doesn't even have an opportunity to think about you not coming for her. Yeah. Right? You're not even giving her a chance to do that.
Right.
So, you know, now Dominique is sounding like he's going to step up his game, but I'm like, I don't see, honestly, I don't see him surpassing Chaz. He brought up like, okay, you know, I know, you know, Chaz and Vanessa have a connection, but I don't think it's going to last. I don't know why he said that, but in the end, I feel like Chaz is coming for Vanessa in a more clear manner than Dominique.
Exactly. And Dominique is so lame. Dominique just talks. He's all bark, no bite. You don't pursue a woman. The lady had to tell you that she wants you to pursue her. Like, what were you doing this whole time? Like, it's just weird to me. The fact that he was gone a whole episode or almost 2 episodes, right, baby?
Right.
And then you pop up and start talking all this nonsense. You're not being clear with any of these women. You don't have a connection with anybody but Vanessa. And you're not even coming from Vanessa. So you don't... It's just like he's not putting in no work. You're not connecting with anyone. And you're not putting no energy, no fight, no bark for Vanessa. The only person that you're connecting with. Have several seats, you weak man.
What?
Okay.
Just say what you feel, man.
Nonetheless, the friend did like Vanessa.
Yeah, the friend did, and Vanessa, to me, you know, in any situation where a friend's being introduced to her, just her demeanor, right. You know, for the most part, most people are gonna be like, yo, she's good, right? I mean, there's nothing that stands out as negative.
Exactly.
Although, you know, I will admit that, you know, looking long term, this woman may not have that spontaneous.
But initially,
as far as the way she looks, the way she conducts herself. Definitely displays a certain level of maturity, and she did that there.
And I feel like she was a bit more flirtatious with Dom.
Yeah, but I don't know why.
You don't see the eyes that she was giving him. She's like, "Come for me," and you know.
Yeah, but why though? Because I don't feel like she's really connected to him.
Me neither. I don't.
Yeah,
I really don't. Yeah.
So, well, anyway.
But remember, she said Chaz was all over the place. What did she mean by that?
Yeah, I don't know.
She said, "I didn't know Chaz was checking for Alexis, but." Chaz is all over the place.
Yeah.
So I think when she said that, she's kind of opening her options and maybe considering Dom if he steps up. I don't know, y'all.
We will see.
Let's keep watching.
Let's keep it moving. All right. So in the next date, we have Laron's college friend. I guess they got a little history. Maya and Mika. Mika comes out and, you know, she kind of points out that, you know, Laron's cool, but she really has no romantic connection to him. Maya, of course, you know, we all know elephant in the room with LaRon is him going out all the time, partying. So of course that came up, and both of the girls kind of gave their opinion on it. Mika, of course, said, that's obviously somewhat of a concern, and it's not surprising because Mika is in a different place. She has 2 children, probably has been there, done that. And obviously she don't want to be dealing with a person that's all about that life when there's parenting responsibilities. But Maya, on the other hand, she seemed like okay with it. She said that, we're young. This is what young people do. I think that's also predicated on the fact that she's single, no children, right? Yeah. Totally the exact opposite of Mika. Now Mika, and by the way, Mika is earning my respect a little bit because what she doesn't do, she doesn't take this passive role in these conversations. She puts out, some things very directly that need to be addressed. That's what she was doing with Jonathan. And now she puts out the fact that, hey, LaRon, you've never been with a woman that has had children, So you don't even know what that entails. Is that something that you can deal with? Is that something that you're up for? And by the way, super valid question.
That's a very valid question.
And, of course, LaRon, kind of, yes, I could still deal with the situation and blah, blah, blah. But that's easier said than done, right? If you've never actually experienced it. And, you have a lifestyle right now that consists of going out. If you actually take the full responsibility of being a father to these 2 children, that's going to change significantly. And are you okay with that? And then also, I think LaRon kind of wants, having never been married, never had kids, he probably wants to do both. Mika, I think if you haven't realized by this point that she don't want kids, then, I don't know what you're watching.
And I hate that they're like forcing her. Like he's like, oh, I think for the right guy. Did she say that? She did not say that. She said she's not interested in having kids at this point. Yes, for the right guy, she might do it, but why would you even want to chance that? She clearly said she doesn't want kids. Like, find somebody else. There's plenty of women out here with no kids or who wants more. Like, I don't understand why they're wasting their time and betting on, oh, she might, if I'm the right person, she'll have the wrong kid. What if you're not the right person? Then you just waste 2-3 years of your life. And what if you are the right person, she still don't want kids? Like, she said she doesn't want kids. Move on.
Yeah. And I just don't think she wants kids.
She don't. She said it multiple times. Yeah. Context clues, y'all. Absolutely. Of course, for the right person, you might make some changes, but for the most part, she already said she doesn't want kids. If I was a guy, I want a woman who wants to be a mother. Period.
Yeah.
A mother. Well, have my child. That's a better way of saying it. Right? So.
And, so of course, Maya said that she wants both. So clearly, a better match for LaRon. But I gotta be honest with you, I was just surprised that Maya was even really considering LaRon. Because
LaRon seemed like a joke.
Yeah, so why isn't she seeing it? She was, the way she was stating things is like, LaRon's still in the running. So that was a little surprising to me. And in the end, of course, his friend was asked, who does she think is the better match? He clearly said Maya. Of course, Maya is the better match on paper. But personally, I'm not seeing a connection.
I'm not seeing a connection with him. It's hard to see a connection with somebody who's so jokey like that. Want to play some games. Like, this man... gosh, I don't want to keep saying this. I'm done.
Yeah. And overly confident. I mean, you just think he's that
confident.
Dude. And it's like, what?
That's not confident. He's
portraying this confidence that is not there.
Not there at all. He is very insecure.
Exactly.
Very insecure.
Exactly. So, we're going to move on from this one. All right, so here we are in the men's lounge.
Yes, it's lounge time.
It's time to find out who the tops and the bottoms are, and who's going to end up going. So the first person that was asked was LaRon, and LaRon said that he's kind of in between Mika and Maya right now as his top connections. As we just talked about in the last scene, I don't personally think any of those women are going to end up with him. So, whatever he thinks is the case is not going to happen.
And I don't understand why he keeps choosing Mika, but as you can see, he did say that this is a physical connection. He was attracted to her. And he said it again, that he feels like she'll have a kid for the right person. So.
And I'm always, curious about people who, when someone's telling you exactly what they want, you somehow think it's different.
Exactly.
Next up was Justin. Surprisingly, Justin has Mika as his top connection. And I did not know that was the case. I thought that the strongest connection was Patrice.
Rashina.
Was it Rashina?
Yeah. You mean Justin, right?
Just.
Yeah, it was Rashina, no short blonde hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, light skinned girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was her, but he chose Mika as his number one connection.
Yeah. Yeah. A little surprise there. Alonzo, no surprise. Top connection, Patrice. They've been connecting since forever.
Yep, and he's been very consistent.
Yes, absolutely. And then Dom ended up picking Vanessa, which, honestly, up until that date between the two just now, I didn't even know that they were checking for each other like that.
Same.
And I actually don't think that Vanessa was really checking for him. She was just kind of, hyping him up a little bit and then pointing out the fact that he wasn't coming for her and that he needed to step it up.
I think Vanessa might be attracted to him, but she realized that personality ain't personality-ing.
Yeah. And the 2 to 10 thing,
yeah,
showstopper for Vanessa in the long run.
And I doubt he means 2 to 10, baby. I think that's just his whole jokey personality.
Well, them words alone is going to take his pool of women and shrink it dramatically, because just when you hear a man say stuff like that, it sounds crazy.
It sounds very
crazy. I'm just keeping it real. And then William said that Maya and Patrice are his top connections. I was actually a little bit surprised about that, because I thought Maya was the clear front runner for him. But I understand how Patrice is. We know what Patrice is doing. So, I'm sure he's impressed by that, and the way that she came in with the flowers. And Patrice has a way of kind of, getting at men a little bit.
Patrice is good, y'all.
Yeah, but I still think that Maya is the best for him. But nonetheless,
is the best for him, or they have the better connection?
Yeah, better connection.
I think Patrice is the best for him because they both have kids.
Yeah.
Patrice has 3, he has 3.
That's
a good job. Brady Bunch family together and keep it moving and leave that little 30-year-old girl alone with no kids.
Yes, and their professions, they kind of complement each other. Yeah.
I agree. Mine need to chill. Like 3 kids. This man got 3 kids and he got hips. And you are a beautiful 30-year-old. You have a pick of the litter. Like, leave that man alone.
Right. And then last was Chaz, and no surprise there, Vanessa, his top pick.
Right.
Let's not ignore the fact that he had to throw out there that there was a sexual connection. When Dominique had mentioned that his top pick was Vanessa.
Right. Chaz be Chaz.
This is Chaz. He been puffing the Chaz out anytime there's any competition. Mm-hmm. Which let's be honest here, it's insecurity. Unfortunately, it's insecurity. If you're the man without putting your chest out.
Exactly. Yeah. Chill.
So all right. So then next they said bottoms.
Yeah. Tommy say, who are you not feeling? All right. And Justin says he's not feeling Vanessa. Dominique says he has 2. It's Patrice and Mika. And William put Mika at the bottom. Chaz, surprisingly, Alexis at the bottom. And the reason why I say surprisingly is because it seemed like they had a great connection on one of the dates. But
even when she was just at the house recently.
Yeah.
They were talking about the 15-year age gap. He was explaining why that's not an issue. I didn't get the sense that she was just not even in consideration.
Well, he said the reason why she's at the bottom is because of the drama, and he's a very peaceful man. And that's a big turn off. A 47-year-old man do not want to be dealing with no kind of drama. He's just not interested in that. So good job, Chaz. LaRon chose Alexis, and Alexis. And he says that she's basically a snake, and she sent screenshots to Will, and Will basically got Coach Shia out of there.
Yeah. Just clearly in his feelings.
He is in his feelings.
About the fact that she and Will is the reason that his top connection, which he treated like crap, was eliminated.
Right. So, let's see who's going.
We're going to see.
All right.
What's your guess, baby?
I'm going to guess the bottom is going to be Alexis and Mika. And I feel like... Alexis is going home. And the reason why I feel like Alexis... Who's really checking for Alexis?
Nobody.
Hold on. Anybody chose her at the top, baby?
Nope.
No, nobody chose Alexis. Yeah, so... And none of the friends chose Alexis either.
No, we will see.
Yeah. Well, Dom did say Alexis was somebody he's interested in because she's a chameleon and you could throw her in any room. Can't remember the word he used. Yeah. But you could throw her in any room and she'll be comfortable in there. Put her in the hood and she'll be fine.
Right.
He said something like that. But other than that, nobody's really checking for her. So that's what I feel. Who you think's going home, babe?
Alexis.
Damn, you confident.
Yep.
Okay.
We will see.
Shall see.
All right, so it's elimination time,
Ooh.
right? We got 2 dates. Obviously, no surprise. Both Mika and Alexis on the chopping block. So Chaz had a date with Mika to deliver the information. LaRon with Alexis. How appropriate considering the beef that they have. So there was cordial discussion. It's not like. For the way LaRon sounded in the men's lounge, you thought he would have went right at her. But, it actually shows me that LaRon, he might have some bark, but he ain't got no bite.
I think he act like that around his boys. But when he's on a one-on-one situation, this is a shy guy, this is a weak guy, this is an insecure guy. He couldn't even tell Alexis straight up, All that bark he had to say, he called her name 5 times, but you get face-to-face with her and no bite.
Right.
Weak.
Right. So LaRon was pointing out some of the obvious that, the men were saying in the men's lounge, about Alexis, just basically being a little messy, up for that smoke too much, and, what she did with Will, that was just, I think everybody pretty much agreed that was just wrong.
Right.
The way she went about that, spilling information out of the ladies' lounge.
Send a text message.
Screenshots and stuff like that. So anyway, she basically kind of stood her ground in the way that she did before, saying, look, I'm not really about that drama, but if someone's coming for me, then, I'm not a doormat. Yeah, I'm not a doormat or something like that. So I feel like basically she had no remorse for anything that she did. Right. She feels like what she did was justified because, as she put it, Will kind of got her into this. Now, I kind of feel like that's not taking accountability. It's kind of skirting out of it a little bit because at the end of the day, Will's just as messy as she is. And she could have handled that situation differently. Totally different. Yeah. So it in my opinion, it was specifically her willingness to get into dramatic situations that just turned everybody off. Exactly. Because what person wants that?
Yeah, these grown people, they're not interested in any drama.
Yeah. So Alexis eliminated.
Gone.
Yes. All right. So in the other date, Mika and Chaz, basically Chaz was pointing out some of the obvious that we knew too.
Don't forget he was holding Mika's hand. He called her the beautiful. What did he call her? He said, hey, the beautiful woman or something. I
don't even know, but this consistent with what we talked about with Chaz, knowing what to say, certain gestures, posture, all this. So if Mika's, whatever, she keep giving him all these compliments about his arms, back, this, that, and the other. He pointed out that, a lot of the men felt that she had her guard up, not vulnerable enough. But, credit to Mika, because she said, at the end of the day, if I'm not checking for you, if I don't think that you could be that long-term partner, no, I'm not about to pull the whole wall down. There's no reason to do so. But if you are that person, then I'll do it. Now, although I agree with the fact that you don't need to be completely vulnerable to everybody you meet, I will say that you could still have your guard up, but then still make that person feel that you're still warm, you're still inviting. You could be a little flirtatious. You ain't got to be so stone cold. And we knew that she was like that right from Jonathan.
Right.
It was valid, the points that she was making.
Right.
But it's the way she went about it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, she's so just stone cold. Exactly, baby. I was just like, I get it. You don't like them. But you can still be warm. You can still be sweet. You can still be a lady. You can still be... At the end of the day, this is a competition. You want more votes. You want to be the most wanted. You want these guys to come check for you. That's how you make it to the end. Even if you find your partner at the beginning, your person at the beginning, if you're going to be rude and disrespectful or attitude or cold with these other men, you're going to be at the bottom every single week. So, yes, I understand you don't have to be fake. You don't have to pull your walls down. But you do have to be kind. You do have to be, show some... Just ask questions, Right?
Yep. I agree. So I will say I don't really see anybody checking for Mika like that. I know Justin said that she was his top connection. So if she doesn't pick it up with Justin, I don't think anybody else is going to be coming for her. So she might be on the chopping block next time. So
again,
we'll see.
And I don't think she really cares, to be honest. She basically said she's not. They got to do what they got to do. You know, and she's not changing. But nonetheless, y'all, thank you so very much for tuning in.
Yes.
We apologize for a late episode, but we're out and about and enjoying life. So we don't apologize.
Right.
But nonetheless, thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, and keep the dialogue going in the comment section below. And we will catch up with y'all next episode.
Yes.
And on that note, T and D is
out.
I lost my voice, so let me try. Ow! Bye, y'all.